Coming up on Fulton Today, some Fulton County seniors turn to technology to learn about the health plans and services available to them.
I'm Brian Robinson, and coming up, I'll take a deeper look at the additional services being funded through the 2019 budget.
And Fulton County police officers are honored for always answering the call. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. We begin with a detailed look at the $1.1 billion budget passed by Fulton commissioners in a 4-3 vote. From behavioral health services to enhancements in programming for seniors and HIV and AIDS initiatives, officials say the 2019 spending and savings plan includes funding for major issues impacting our community. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Shania, Fulton's budget process took months of planning and listening to county residents about their wants and department heads about their needs. And in the end, county leaders say the fund balance will be maintained with a lower millage rate. Now that the official 2019 spending plan has been passed, Fulton commissioners got down to business on other pressing matters of the county at their regular February board meeting.
And the motion passes 4 yeas, 3 nays.
However, during their January recess meeting, in that 4-3 vote, officials made clear the priorities for the year. Overall, the $1.1 billion budget includes $719 million in the general fund, which allocates funding to a number of enhancements to key Fulton County programs. For instance, $4 million for behavioral health services, including $620,000 for Grady Hospital to increase capacity at its medication-assisted treatment clinic for opioid addiction, and expansion of core behavioral health services. $1.1 million for expansion of the pre-arrest diversion program, and $1.5 million for public health services, including enhanced resources for HIV/AIDS testing and treatment. The budget also includes $2 million for the youth programming in the Department of Community Services, $1.3 million for arts programming, and $5.7 million for the Justice Reinvestment Initiative, with an additional $2 million to assist the Fulton County District Attorney and Solicitor General to reduce caseloads, and $420,000 for the Juvenile Court for a youth crime prevention program. Now, the budget also includes funding for economic development, cybersecurity, and facility upgrades for the Sheriff's Office. You can see a full breakdown of the list on the county's website, fultoncountyga.gov. And coming up later in the show, we'll have a look at the major enhancements coming to senior services. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. Meanwhile, the budget enhancements for the Sheriff's Office are not the only new additions to that department. A new class of cadets are ready to serve at the Fulton County Jail.
Congratulations.
10 new cadets were sworn in after graduating from basic jail certification. While enrolled in the 80-hour program, the cadets were taught self-defense tactics, as well as emergency procedures, inmate rights, and inmate discipline. They also learned medical activities like first aid, CPR, cell searches, and inmate supervision.
It was very difficult. I mean, we had to do, not only did we have to do physical exercises, but we have to be mentally prepared, because this is not an easy job and not everyone can perform this job. So even though it was difficult, we stuck through it. We worked together as a team, we came in as a team, and we graduated today as a team.
The training that they've gone through will allow them to articulate their duties and make sure that our inmates and our clients still are treated humanely and justly.
The training these new cadets have received will help make the Rice Street facility safe for themselves and the inmates. 2 members of the county's justice partners are receiving high praise from the faith and legal communities. Fulton Superior Court Judge Jane Barwick and Executive Assistant District Attorney Clinton Rucker were 2 of 3 honorees of the 2019 Champions of Justice Awards. The honors were presented at New Life Presbyterian Church during Justice Sunday, where dozens of county judges and legal professionals attended.
Our county and the individuals involved in our justice system, that we put out there for the community really are notable in their effort, their compassion, their mission.
I just have to say I am incredibly humbled and honored, and I am so appreciative, George, for this recognition.
Doug Amar from the Justice Project was the third recipient of the award. The attorney has been instrumental in working with county leaders on the various record restriction summits held through the years. Judge Barwick was honored for her efforts in family court, and Executive ADA Rucker was recognized for being named the state's top prosecutor by the Prosecuting Attorneys Council. Well, this week marks the first full month that state lawmakers have been at work during this 2019 Georgia legislative session. As they address a myriad of issues on behalf of all Georgians, Fulton leaders focus on the topics that affect the county.
As the pace of a legislative session picks up, there's been more interesting topics introduced. For example, Senate Bill 45, the Rural Georgia Jobs and Growth Act by Senator Brandon Beach, creates the Georgia Horse Racing Commission to establish regulations on pari-mutuel activities and up to 3 horse racing tracks to be brought to rural Georgia to create jobs and promote economic growth. One of these equestrian centers is expected to be located in the metropolitan Atlanta area, which will also bring jobs to the Atlanta area and promotes economic growth throughout the state.
Fulton leaders are also keeping a close eye on the changes being made to voting machines.
With the implementation goal of the 2020 presidential election, we are expecting a main elections equipment bill to be dropped this week, which will lead to debates on the type of new equipment Georgia will choose: hand-marked paper ballots or ballot marking devices.
Now, the 2019 Georgia legislative session ends on March 28th. Fulton County's police department is honored for always answering the call in emergency situations.
You guys ready for this? Yep.
As a way of saying thank you, the phone company Verizon surprised our men and women in blue with a pizza party. Held at the police precinct along Fulton Industrial Boulevard, the pizza delivery was part of Verizon's campaign that celebrates the impact that first responders make in communities across the nation. And Verizon also expressed their appreciation for the department's hard work in support of Super Bowl 53.
We really wanted to honor those that are on the front lines of keeping us safe every day. Obviously, that's very important during a week like this, right? But year-round, really. So we thought, one way that we could show our appreciation is maybe to surprise them a little bit. A good surprise, though, right? So we showed up here tonight to feed them, brought in some pizzas, really just have some interaction and let them know we appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do, again, this week and year-round to keep Atlanta residents and visitors safe.
It's appreciated greatly, especially in the world today. Policing is frowned upon a lot. So to see someone show appreciation to us and show that helps for us to continue to do the jobs.
After finishing the pizza, it was business as usual for the police officers. Verizon also celebrated other law enforcement agencies in the metro Atlanta area. And still ahead on Fulton Today, Fulton accepts the challenge to end new HIV infections by the end of the next decade. We'll explain in our district-by-district coverage next. One Fulton commissioner travels across the pond to lend support to the fight to end HIV and AIDS, and another is honored for his support of the arts. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. We begin with Chairman Rob Hitz, who travels to London to sign the Paris Declaration on Fast-Track Cities Ending the AIDS Epidemic. The at-large commissioner joined the city of Atlanta in a joint effort to reduce the rate of new HIV infections in the capital city. Chairman Pitts was in London for the AIDS-Free Cities Global Forum.
That conference brought together the best minds from around the world who are fighting this common enemy, AIDS. And the advantage of going to and participating in and attending a conference like that is you hear what other cities and places and counties around the world are doing. And we're doing a lot here, but we're not doing enough.
Now, Fulton County, through its Board of Health and the City of Atlanta, are working collaboratively on providing health services and housing opportunities. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall joins other elected officials in a forum hosted by the Atlanta chapter of the National Black NBA. Commissioner Hall, along with State Representative Roger Bruce and City of Atlanta Councilman Matt Westmoreland, spoke about the importance of economic development in communities and law and legal considerations that impact communities.
It allowed me the opportunity to actually speak about Fulton County and the services and programs that we offered. One question in particular was about the budget, and it allowed me to go into detail about those areas that are important to us. We actually put over $1 million of additional funding into senior services, and I had the opportunity to actually explain why we did that.
The elected officials all agreed that the state, the county, and the city work best when all of the collected elected officials collaborate. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. receives the 2019 Joan P. Garner Outstanding Service to the Arts Awards in partnership with Arts Atlanta. The recognition came during the Fulton County Arts and Culture Department's 3rd annual Luminary Award ceremony. Commissioner Arrington is the executive sponsor of the county's strategic priority, All People Are Culturally Enriched.
Joan Gardner was a mentor, she was a friend, and she taught me to be focused about being a county commissioner. She taught me to be involved. She told me to become a member of the ACCG, the Association of County Commissioners of Georgia. She told me to become involved with NACO, the National Association of Counties. And she went with me and led me by the hand.
Dr. Teresa Howard was also honored during the award ceremony. She is a longtime civil servant and education and instructor in African dance at Emory University. Now you can catch your commissioners at work all this week or anytime on demand on the county's website. And still to come on Fulton Today, a group of senior citizens learn how technology has them covered. Stay with us, everybody. Seniors use technology to best determine, of all things, their health coverage. Here's FGTV's Melissa Lewis.
Around the conference room table with cell phones in hand, this group at the Bowden Senior Center were the first Fulton seniors to try a brand new app designed specifically with their population in mind.
Awesome. See? Awesome.
This is the newly launched modernized Medicare app.
So this app is actually our way of coming into the 21st century in many ways, and meeting seniors where they're at. We understand that a growing number of seniors are actually very tech savvy, do a lot with their smartphones, and they want an easy and simple way to look up anything about Medicare and how it benefits them.
According to the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, Medicare is expected to increase by nearly 50% by 2030. That means the system will go from 54 million people who will need the service to just over 80 million. Seniors say this was exactly the kind of easy and informative opportunity they need.
Oh, I think it is a great resource for seniors. It's easy to install, it's easy to follow. There were links on each side for alphabetical listings of different tests or services. And the great thing was it had a link to Medicare.gov.
The What's Covered application is designed to help individuals understand the health care coverage offered by original Medicare Part A, hospital insurance, and Part B, medical insurance.
And we understand most of those people aging into Medicare over the time, they are a digital generation. They're a very visual generation. And so this app helps us continue to meet the needs of the Medicare beneficiaries as more people come into the system.
The What's Covered app is available in both Google Play and the Apple App Store. And seniors like that the application is free. For more information, call Medicare or visit Medicare.gov. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Meanwhile, Fulton commissioners allocate an increase in funding for senior services in the 2019 budget. $3.4 million was approved, with an additional $2 million for facility upgrades.
Those dollars will be used to increase our capacity in home and community-based services, transportation, some of our multi-purpose programs, adult day, and our neighborhood senior centers. We're grateful for the increase and have developed an enhancement implementation plan.
Fulton County residents must sign up as a participant at one of the county senior facilities to take part in the mini classes. There are also monthly meetings at the centers to learn about the events and programs. Of course, you can contact the county's official Star Line to get details. Fulton's Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities is supporting the 2019 National Drug and Alcohol Facts Week with a focus on opioids. Now, according to the Centers for Disease Control, people misuse prescription opioid medication by using them in a way that's not intended. For instance, people take someone else's prescribed medication for their own legitimate medical issues, like relieving pain. They also take the opioid specifically to get high, or mixing the medication with alcohol or certain other drugs. Fulton County has its own opioid coordinator.
Of course, prevention and recovery are two of the main aspects, but definitely helping to erase the stigma that's attached to mental illness as well as substance abuse. But again, prevention, recovery, prevention awareness, and education.
Now, the Fulton County Department of Behavioral Health offers resources to help young people overcome opioid and alcohol abuse with its Chris 180 providers. County leaders recently announced an expansion of the services during an open house in North Fulton. Now, you can contact the county's provider, Chris 180, for details. And up next on Fulton Today, that big game is over, but we'll show you what the Super Bowl experience has left behind. Stay with us. As the praises keep coming in about the way the state and the city hosted the millions of visitors in town for Super Bowl 53, the lasting legacy the NFL left behind is also the talk of one local community. FGTV's Greg Thomas has more on the newly renovated park.
When the NFL commissioner, the Falcons owner, and Atlanta mayor cut the ribbon on a renovated park in Fulton's District 4, you know the District 4 Commissioner is there to support.
This park is really important for Fulton County because of the simple fact that it serves our community. Our Fulton County residents will have the opportunity to use this park, as well as our senior center, which is right across the street from this park.
The newly renovated John F. Kennedy Park in Atlanta's historic West Side is now open. The park rebuild could not have happened without a $2.4 million grant from the Atlanta Super Bowl Host Committee, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the NFL Foundation.
This was an opportunity for us to give back and create a legacy here in this important part of town.
The NFL gave the community a park with a versatile playing field, a playground, a basketball court, and a walking court, just to name a few.
The Super Bowl isn't just about game day on Sunday. It's about all the other things that go on in and around in the community. And to be able to make a contribution like this, a permanent memory, you know, years from now people will say, I got to play in that park and that was there because of the Super Bowl.
With so many park amenities to enjoy, the residents of District 4 have no excuse not to get outside and play, weather permitting, of course.
And I think that this is going to bring a lot to the community. It'll be a place where they can actually come and relax and exercise and play in the field with their kids, grandkids. It's just a great opportunity for this community to rebuild it.
And though not everyone may be a fan of football, residents in this community are grateful for the gift the NFL left behind. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Greg Thomas.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. Well, before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can watch a replay of this show or any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.